Hello, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing really very well. In our today's class, my dear student, we are going to continue our chapter number 9. Okay, and the name of that chapter is family. Okay, we have seen previously about families. Okay, the concept of nuclear family, the concept of joint family. Even we have seen the two examples, one from Kerala and one from Meghalaya, to understanding what kind of role we have to play in our family. Okay, and what responsibility we have to perform when times come. Okay, so my dear student, come with me and continue this chapter. So the first topic which we are going to cover in our today's class is community. Let's see, first of all, we live in a family and family is a part of the community. Okay, so now we are going to see the community where we used to live. Families are connected not only within themselves but also with the other families and the people around themselves. See, family is not about the person who used to live under one roof. Okay, but family is also a part of the community. Okay, means family is the part of the people who used to live in their neighborhood. Okay, so such a group of interconnected people can be called as community. So the group of this interlinked people or interconnected people are called as a community. Okay, because it is a common term. Now member of the community came together for various reasons. Okay, so all the members who used to live under one community, they came together for various purpose, like to celebrate festivals, for organizing feasts, for attending weddings and other events. Okay, in some villages, people work together to support each other in agricultural activities. In rural areas, my dear student, what happened? The community people help each other. Okay, help each other in agricultural practices like preparing a land, showing and harvesting activities. Okay, over time, communities have often established certain practices. See, slowly what happened when communities developed. Okay, then slowly they also developed there some rules and regulations. Okay, which they have to follow. Okay, and they also perform some kind of activities like they used to share natural resources like water, grazing land and forest produce. Okay, see, the communities who used to live in rural areas, now they practiced activities like water resourcing, grazing of animals. Okay, and forest products. Okay, this is particularly true for many tribal communities. See, if I'm talking about water resources, I'm talking about forest produce, it means we are talking about the tribal community. Okay, to some extent, this is still the case in rural village commodities India today. This similar condition not prevail only in tribal community but also prevails in our village, in our rural areas also. Okay, these practices were rarely written down, have provided communities with secure access to resources. See, although this practices are not written. Okay, these are not written, but these practices are made throughout the time and passed from one generation to another generation. Okay, and their main aim is to ensure that every family and individual has specific duties to perform. See, if I'm getting wood from forest. Okay, the tribal people, suppose I belong to a tribal community and I get wood and forest products from the forest. So my dear student, it is my moral duty. Okay, it is my moral duty to perform some kind of responsibilities, to bear some responsibility towards those. Because if if I'm getting products, if I'm using products from my forest, then it is also my responsibility. Okay, to take care of those. Okay, to take care of them. Okay, so all these practices are prevail in tribal community as well as our some rural communities also. Okay, because without cooperation, community could not function smoothly. If we are not cooperating, then it means what? We are creating hindrance. Okay, we are disturbing our community. Okay, so here you can see, my dear students, some key highlights points are given here. Many year after year, my dear student, a region around. Okay, means here we are talking about state Madhya Pradesh, and in state Madhya Pradesh, a area named as Jhabua. Okay, so here we are talking about Madhya Pradesh and Jhabua area. Okay, so so year after year, my dear student, what happened? A town which is located around the Jhabua, that town suffered from the acute water scarcity. Okay, So following this Helma tradition of coming together to support any individual or family in cities times of crisis, the Bhil community decided to plant thousands of trees in hundred of villages. Okay. Now see, there is a town located in Jhabua, Madhya Pradesh. Year after year, some point of time they suffered acute water scarcity. Okay, so to tackle with this problem, the Bhil community who used to live in that area, they came together. Okay, they came together, and by coming together they supported each other. Okay, they supported each other by planting thousands of trees. Okay, by planting thousands of trees in their village area. The Bhils also dug many trenches to conserve rainwater and created other water harvesting structures. Now that Bhil community not only planted trees, but even they also started using water harvesting techniques. Okay, they did not get paid for this work, but did it as their duty towards their community and the environment. See, Bhil community is doing this work. Okay, first of all, Bhil community people came together for helping each other. They planted trees. Now they are also storing rainwater by using rainwater harvesting technique. Okay, although they created them, so these are all are the natural way. Okay, but they didn't paid for this, but still they bear their responsibility, that yes, it is our responsibility today. If this community, if this town is facing water scarcity, maybe in near future we can also face. Okay, so to tackle those situations, Bhil community took this thing as their own responsibility, and that's why they planted thousands of trees. They invented natural way to harvest rainwater. Okay, in this Helma tradition, and they name this tradition as Helma tradition. Okay, so in this Helma tradition, the major objective of this tradition is to save the Mother Earth. Okay, in 2019, Sri Mahesh Sharma of the Shiv Ganga movement was honored with the Padma Shri award for his transformational work with the Bhil community. Okay, that's why in 2019, my dear student, Sri Mahesh Sharma. Okay, so the Mahesh Sharma, who was from the Shiv Ganga community. Okay, Shiv Ganga movement. Okay, this movement named as Shiv Ganga movement. Okay, he was awarded as Padma Shri award. Okay, this is the first thing. Okay, now the second incident, what happened during the Chennai flood of 2015, roads turned to rivers and people could no longer move around. See, in 2012, my dear student, Chennai faced acute disaster in the form of flood. Roads become river. Okay, means road becomes a river. If road become a river, it means no movement will happen. Okay, almost all shops were closed and services interrupted. So due to this disaster flood, all shops and all shops are closed, and almost all Chennai, means all over Chennai, shut down. Okay, many private groups, in particular spiritual and religious organizations, cooked large quantities of food and distributed it to people who needed it. Okay, so if shops are closed, no movement is happening in Chennai city. So it means what? People are facing food problem. This is the major problem which people faced any in the form of any disaster. When any disaster came, the first problem which people face is food problem. Okay, so many organization related with, maybe they are religious organization, maybe any social organization, anything, they prepared a large quantity of food and distributed among the Chennai people. Okay, so here, my dear student, you can see from this two incident, here people are not get paid. Okay, here people are not getting any money. Okay, but they are doing social work because they're understanding, yes, this is my moral responsibility, this is my role, here we have to follow. Okay, now here you can see, my dear student, this is a Helma tradition. Okay, now in this Helma tradition, you can see many Bhil community people came together, planted trees, they started natural way of rainwater harvesting. Okay, so this is all about our Helma tradition, and the major motto behind Helma tradition is for saving our Mother Earth. Okay, now the real life story is above illustrate how community operate in a rural context. See, in this way we can see how our communities operate in rural India. Okay, how our community life is also present in urban setting, though it may works differently. Let's look at an example from another real life story. See, Here we have seen the Jhabua problem, Jhabua district problem of Madhya Pradesh, and here we have seen the Chennai city, okay, the Chennai city flood problem in the Tamil Nadu. Okay, now my dear student, all these problems are related to rural area. Although Chennai is a metropolitan city, okay, but the organizations basically related with the rural areas. Now here, my dear student, we are going to see the real life incident taken from the urban area. More than 20 years ago, in an area of Ahmedabad, Gujarat, Kamal Parmar, the owner of a small auto fabrication workshop, noticed a group of underprivileged children on the street. Okay, so here we are talking about 20 years ago incident. Okay, so this incident occurred in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, where a owner of a small auto fabrication workshop lived, named as Kamal Parmar. Okay, so Kamal Parmar saw many children, okay, many underprivileged children who used to live on streets. Some had dropped out of schools, while others have never attended school. So among those underprivileged privileged children, some are dropped out from the school, and even some are those children who never seen the face of school in their whole life. Kamal started offering them tuition from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. every day after his regular work hour. Okay, so when when Kamal saw that these children are underprivileged, okay, so he started, okay, so he take this work as his moral work, okay, means his responsibility. He started giving tuition classes for those underprivileged children between 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. after finishing his work. He also provided the children with a free dinner. Okay, Kamal Parmar not only gave tuitions, but he started giving free dinner to those children. Soon, 150 children were attending his classes regularly and were deeply interested in the lesson. So now it is the effort who brings the fruit. Okay, who brings the fruit, that now 150 children are regularly attending his classes. Few teachers from a local school noticed the classes and joined. Okay, okay, and joined in teaching for a while. Okay, one teacher observed these children don't have proper benches to sit on. There's no silence zone class, and the vehicles passing by making a lot of noise, yet they focus entirely on what the teachers are saying. Now see, some teachers, when Kamal Parmar started this tuition classes and he started giving free meals for them, few teachers of their community also noticed the noble work done by Kamal Parmar. Okay, so one of them teacher noticed that these children don't have proper benches for sit down, and even there is no silence zone. Continuously vehicles are passing and creating a noise, but still the teachers notice that this children are so deeply connected with the teaching that they don't notice anything, okay, about the noise. Okay, this touched my heart. So when that teacher noticed all this thing, that benches are not present here, okay, still there is no silence zone, but still students are deeply engaged with the classes, it touched the heart of that teacher. The love and affection I received from them was incredible. Okay, some older children were also attending regular schools, also volunteered to teach in Kamal classes. Okay, now not only teachers, even the older children also volunteered Kamal Parmar in Kamal Parmar's classes. Okay, one of them remarked, so one of that children remarked that we went there to teach, but instead we learned so much from them. So one of them student tells that yes, we went we went there to teach all those underprivileged children, but still, we are gone for teaching purpose, but we are receiving so much knowledge from them. Okay, like, discuss this story in your class. What kind of attitude towards the community does it reveal? What values are reflected in Kamal Parmar's initiative? Now, my dear student, you have seen the initiative taken by Kamal Parmar. Okay. Now, what you have to do? It is your responsibility. Okay, to discuss all this thing in your class. Okay, and to give the answer of this questions. Okay, this is done by you. New type of communities have also emerged over the last 30-40 years. Okay, now, if I talk about the last 30-40 years, many new communities are emerged, like your resident welfare association in many urban areas are the examples of communities. Okay, so my dear student, The person who used to live in urban areas, okay, in urban areas they can see resident welfare associations, okay, many resident welfare associations are prevails in urban area, okay, and the basic responsibility is to create rules and regulations. This is their basic responsibility. These rules might concern, now what type of rules they have to follow, like waste management, cleanliness of area, okay, they have to clean their area, okay, and they, if they have a pet, then they also have to take care of their pets, and so on. The resident of the society participate in making these rules and regulations, okay. So here you can see, my dear student, this is a picture taken from the resident welfare associations, okay. Here many people are present and they are discussing the rules and regulations which they have to follow in their society. Now communities are ultimately interdependent, okay. Now see, after reading all this thing, we can easily say, my dear student, communities are interdependent. For example, resident welfare associations depends on the trading communities for supply and municipal workers to handle waste, okay. Now in what way we can say that these communities are interdependent? The example is given here. Maximum resident welfare associations are totally dependent, okay, for totally dependent, like in the like if I take the example of waste management, okay, so these welfare associations are totally dependent upon municipal workers, okay. Those municipal workers carry their waste from day to day basis, okay. In our complex societies, everyone relies on a network of other people and communities, okay. Now see, in our society, my dear student, who used to live in urban areas, they all have to depend one and, okay, means they have to depend on each other, because without any, if there any absence, okay, if any person will be absent, the whole chain will be disturbed, okay. A few examples you can see here, my dear student. A jati or a subdivision of it called as a community, okay. So here, my dear student, in urban areas, jati or the subdivisions are called as our community. The group of people who share a particular religion, region, occupation, interest, specifically a smaller group, may be referred as a community. See, community is not only about the things which we have seen. It is all about any particular religion, okay, any particular religion people used to live at one place, okay. Any particular person, okay, any particular community who any particular community means in that community majority of the people engaged in single profession, okay, or single occupation, okay. So they used to form a community, means in that area only those people used to live who is related with that occupation, okay. And in some areas, my dear student, many single culture following, okay, means a single culture is followed. Those people used to live in an in an area. So in this way you can see many communities are formed. Like for example, you can see Mumbai's Parsi community, okay, the Parsi community of Mumbai, Chennai's Sikh community, America's Indian community, Kerala's scientific community, our school art community, the village farming community, and so on. So these all are the example of the communities, okay. The limit is endless. There is no limit. It is infinitive, okay. In your school, you may be a part of different community, okay. Even you can say in your school, my dear student, also my dear students, you are also a farm of the you are also a part of the communities, like your class, or okay, see, you belong to sixth class, okay, so you are the so you belong to that community who is in class 6, okay. Of course, okay, you also belong to a different community based on courses, but also the sports community, the national services scheme, the national cadet corps, or science or drama club, etc. and etc. So in this way, my dear student, you can also see the community also prevails in your school, okay. So this is all about in this chapter. Now we are going to see overview of this chapter, what we have learned in this chapter, what type of communities are part of, okay. So we also see in what type of communities, okay, here we have to give answers that in what type of community we used to live. Is there a club that you are a part in the school, okay. So this is question for you, my dear student. Is there a club present in your school? And if the club is present in your school, you have to discuss the functions, okay. Now, what is the meaning of family? Family is the foundation of human society. Human society is based on family. If there is no family, there is no human society. Okay, ideally, members of the family supports each other in their many duties and tasks. Now what is the meaning of community? Community is the bigger unit of the family. Okay, here also people here also implies is that people do their best to support each other. Community can be defined in several ways, and there are many kinds of community. Okay, and lastly, ultimately communities are interdependent. Okay, they are not dependent. Okay, they are interdependent, sorry. So in this way, my dear student, we have completed this chapter. Okay, now my dear student, what you have to do, go thoroughly through this chapter and complete all the exercise based on this chapter. Okay, now I am taking leave and going to meet with you in my next class. Till then, my dear student, you have to take very good care of yourself. Bye.